cases in California alone are up nearly 70% in 2 weeks. And the Surgeon General telling CNN in his first in-depth interview that we're, quote, at a critical tipping point. But he stopped short, saying there won't be a requirement from the federal government for parents to vaccinate.
And just to be clear, you would not recommend mandating vaccines at this time, except for medical exemptions, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you would not want to significantly change the opt-out process, the exemption process overall. You still want to allow people to exempt based on personal, religious, or medical reasons.
Well, on that, what I would say is that while I don't necessarily believe that we are at a stage where we need a federal mandate when it comes to vaccinations, I am not in favor of an expanded exemption process, and I'm concerned as it is that the current exemption process in some states is too permissive.
Too permissive. All right, 48 of the 50 states allow for religious exemptions. 19 states also allow parents to claim philosophical or personal beliefs exemptions, which could just be because you don't like the toxins, who knows, you don't like it. Is this increasing trend putting children in harm's way? Suzanne Malveaux is out front.
The measles outbreak that began in California's Disneyland continues to spread across the country, now engulfing at least 14 other states. In California, a state where parents are allowed to refuse to immunize their children, now almost 100 confirmed cases.
The more kids aren't vaccinated, the more risk there is that measles will regain a foothold in this country.
A foothold that almost took hold in the city of brotherly love.
I lived through the 1991 Philadelphia measles epidemic, and I think anybody who lived through that ended up being scarred by it.
Within just a few months, the outbreak engulfed 1,400 people and killed 9 after 2 churches refused to vaccinate their kids, citing religious beliefs.
It was just incredibly painful to watch these children being pulled out of their homes, one after the next, dead from measles.
The city ultimately got a court order to forcibly vaccinate the church's children.
And there was a panic in this city. There were schools that were canceling trips to the city. It was terrible.
Could that scenario play out today?
I think certainly could happen. Hopefully it won't.
While all 50 states require children to be vaccinated for measles, 48 states allow for religious exemptions. 19 states also allow philosophical exemptions for one's personal beliefs. In California, where vaccination rules are more lenient, 3.3% of kindergartners last year, more than 18,000, were allowed to skip vaccinations.
Nobody asks to see where in the major text of their religion it says don't get vaccinated. Nobody asks to have a cleric that works in their religion write a letter that says this is not our belief. So it's used really just as a sort of default mechanism to allow parents who choose not to get vaccines to more easily make that choice.
Over the last 5 years, the medical community has watched with alarm as people all across America have been citing personal reasons to avoid vaccinations, and pockets of the country have been getting hit by the measles flare-ups, from, you're talking the Amish in Ohio, Somalis in Minnesota, Orthodox Jews in Brooklyn, to evangelicals in Texas. And now, Aaron, you've got this case in California.
Suzanne, thank you very much.